consequences, not just for him but for life in general. It was a harsh reality, but necessary. As the days turned into weeks, I noticed subtle changes in my brother's attitude. He no longer made casual jokes about borrowing things without asking. He started being more cautious around my car, and even our parents commented on how he seemed more aware of boundaries in general. I realized that the incident with the BMW had become a turning point for him. He was beginning to understand that actions have consequences, and that trust once broken is hard to restore. I also took this time to reflect on myself. I had always assumed he would behave reasonably, but life had shown me that even family could act unpredictably when temptation or pride got in the way. I began implementing small rules for shared spaces and possessions. Keys were no longer casually handed out, and I started keeping a detailed log of who used what and when. It felt bureaucratic, almost over the top, but I knew from experience that clarity prevents conflict. During this time, I observed how other family members interacted with him as well. My parents, initially frustrated by my strict stance, eventually came around, seeing the long-term value in teaching accountability. It wasn't about punishing him forever. It was about instilling a sense of responsibility that would benefit him in adulthood. Slowly, he began to accept the new boundaries. Sometimes begrudgingly, but he accepted them nonetheless. I also realized how important it was to balance firmness with empathy. While I couldn't ignore the deceit, I also didn't want this to permanently sour our relationship. We started to have neutral interactions again, sharing meals, talking about work, watching sports together, but always with a silent understanding that certain lines couldn't be crossed. I felt a strange satisfaction in seeing him learn the hard way, yet I also recognized a lingering vulnerability. Trust, once broken, doesn't fully return, and I knew that any future lapses would be met with even stricter measures. The BMW incident became a case study for me, an ongoing reminder of the complexities of family dynamics, of how love and frustration often exist side by side, and how life has a way of teaching lessons that cannot be ignored or forgotten. I began journaling about the entire experience, documenting the events, my emotions, and the strategies I used. This became not only a way to process my feelings, but also a guide for future situations. Family, I realized, could be both the greatest support and the greatest challenge in life. The incident with my brother was not just about a car. It was about boundaries, accountability, and the intricate dance of trust that governs relationships, even with those we've known all our lives. Months passed, and life slowly returned to a rhythm that felt more balanced. I noticed my brother taking steps I hadn't expected. He began repairing some of the trust he had broken. Small gestures